We've seen a fair share of cyberpunk-themed plays in recent years. It's a style capable, now that technology allows it, of painting incredibly fascinating environments even in their decadence. In the case of TrickJump Games' new product, an attempt was made to reproduce similar atmospheres through the use of cel shading, with quite interesting results. So, for GDC 2023, a demo of ArcRunner was released on Steam, experimenting with its roguelike style shooter mechanics. This is how our voyage aboard the colossal space station the Ark unfolded. The plot of ArcRunner is simple. The advanced artificial intelligence core, which manages a massive space station, has been corrupted by a virus that has activated the system's inherent defenses against anyone who attempts to stop it. We will play the part of this novice, the mind of a soldier inside a body created for the occasion, and we will have to overcome several obstacles in order to reach the AI and restore it. We will be offered the option of selecting one of 3 distinct classes: Soldier, who excels in ranged combat and can activate an energy shield to stop enemy projectiles; Ninja, who is quick and lethal in hand-to-hand combat and is equipped with a camouflage system that makes him invisible when needed; and Pirate, who specializes in infiltration and can hack any device. As previously stated, the structure of ArcRunner is that of a roguelike, or rather a roguelite. We will have a single attempt to complete the mission, and at each game over we will have to restart the progression, but with the possibility of unlocking permanent upgrades. In short, the campaign respects all of the traditional elements of this subgenre, including the presence of equipment and updates that will only accompany us during our attempt, which we will be able to choose based on our fighting style by enhancing damage, agility, and defense, and which will inevitably disappear when our vital energy reaches 0. The ArcRunner formula is thus quite clear and simple. Once the character is chosen, we will have to survive a series of arenas, obtain momentary boosts, possibly recharge the health bar by finding small extra challenges hidden in the scenarios, and then move on to the next room while trying to enjoy the landscape, which is without a doubt the most interesting aspect of the game. In each new region, we will be encircled by enemies, beginning with simple drones and light soldiers and progressing to armored forces and bothersome snipers. We will be able to hit them from a distance or reach them for a blow or a hammer, parry or dodge their attacks, and exploit environmental elements to cause chaos, see the vehicles to be exploded, as well as possibly collect new weapons, the usual, machine guns, shotguns, single-beam guns, and so on, and special items, grenades, drones, and so on, with which to customize your equipment. Using a controller, we were unable to identify a solution capable of making the TrickJump Games title's gameplay less slippery and inconsistent than our perspective. Perhaps due to the lack of a viewfinder, but attacking adversaries from a distance is overly complicated, and melee attacks do not express any sensation of impact, so it is unclear whether they were effective or not. Obviously, this is a major issue for a product whose primary focus is the combat system, but with the mouse and keyboard, the situation improves, at least in terms of accuracy, and the hope is that between now and the April 27th release, developers will be able to better adjust the various parameters to prevent ArcRunner from being too woody on consoles. ArcRunner certainly has something to say stylistically. The combination of cel shading, screen space reflection, neon lights, and architectures that alternate urban views, huge ideograms, and Japanese castles is striking right from the opening bars, when our character looks out for the first time into the world that lives and moves inside the space station. Even the characterization appears guessed, while the enemies appear a bit generic, and the locations reveal a purely arena-level design, which is fine for use and consumption of the combat sequences but not very interesting to explore, though as previously mentioned, there are some secrets to discover in the alleys or on the balconies. Our progress through the campaign, which is dominated by a constant and unavoidable sense of danger due to the roguelike approach and a health bar that we frequently won't be able to restore, is accompanied by a perfectly themed electronic soundtrack, capable of marking the times of clashes and slowing down when you finally head towards the exit to collect an upgrade. The technical implementation solutions put in place by the developers allow ArcRunner to run at 2160p with all settings on Ultra and maintain 60 frames per second without major issues on an RTX 3070, with a performance advance unquestionably capable of granting frames at much higher rates depending on the needs, and with few sacrifices in terms of visual quality.